What's up everyone, it's Paul and LaFon bringing you another Overwatch League recap video.
Big armor packs, but Decay is able to take out BQB right at the start.
And this is something you have to watch out for from the Dallas Fuel, something that Mayhem can provide themselves if they wanted. It's the Tracer pick here just for comfort, not necessarily to play to the meta. With Fate already down, now Decay has a little bit more room to work. Garden suffering a little bit of pressure here, and that Discord Orb enabling Doha to clean it up pretty comfortably. A great start for the Fuel.
And I just want to say okay, so there's one side that's easier where you don't have to deal with a Diva or the Tracer, right? Like Diva just kind of uses her defense matrix, a lot of things that can focus you down, but not having the Brig armor pack down anywhere.
Decay's looking for something here. Bongo placed down already here for Gamsu. Supercharges there, and oh, BQB! A little bit too slow there, caught napping, and one clip by Decay. Now looking to try and chase down Gangnam Jin, but the Dallas Fuel still have pole position, so they'll move to the point now, and Decay builds another pulse bomb in that fight. It's just too easy for this young man.
Well, what we know about Ashe and her kit is that she's actually Decay's Tracer in a lot of the time.
Plenty of support ults to work with for Florida now, but they're looking for a chance to use them. Gravitic Flux, Chris still gets the beat off, and Decay is down. Yaki finds him with the headshot now. Fate and Co. Gonna work their way to the right-hand side of the point. Orisa shield is there, but Fate sends his team past it now. Very low is his own shield, but he kept his team healthy enough for the damage to be done, and Yaki and BQB clean up the fight.
If you're Dallas, so that's totally fine. You give up the point, you get to 99, you have an ultimate.
Gargoyle steps back a little bit, but Fate wants to do the exact opposite. He's got a shatter. He gets his way in past the shield. Here's the charge follow-up, and note is no more. 2 down for the Dallas Fuel here, and they are back to the drawing board with not much time left.
And when that Reinhardt gets behind the Orisa shield, and you're allowed to get, then you'll get Yaki on Genji. So this is a little bit of a dive version here from the Florida Mayhem.
This is all in, and Fate knew that he was going to be dealing with that if he was going to lead the charge in a dive composition. Crimzo triples down. And I mean, look, Florida asked for this.
Well, I think
Frost's Immortality field definitely pays off. Now the Mayhem have to do it with 5, and Yaki is just trying to find easy shurikens here to build up a blade. The dash through is good, and the combo with the pile driver is even better. Yaki, not only does he find some crucial involvements in those kills, but he's built himself a Dragon Blade, Matt.
And I was just about to say, I was like, how good the Dallas Fuel were looking after picking up the first few kills. Now he's got a blade, and they know that at least right now that there's no Transcendence available.
Here's the dive, though. Fate goes in, slept immediately, but Yaki isn't napping on the job. He's found 2, and the combination is so filthy. It's almost as if the Winston goes in first to soak some cooldowns. The Swift Strikes is going to be enough to find the damage without those ultimates in play. Probably not now with Transcendence in effect. Crimzo drops that one, and yikes, Chris and Yaki. They fall awfully quickly, and Primal Rage used there by Fate, and didn't do anything to help him protect his squishier teammates.
I mean, maybe you see some type of compositional switch from Florida with a lot of these ults being thrown out. We'll have to see. You end up using a lot of ultimates in that one fight.
Who's too low. Note pushes up, spots the Reaper, kinetic grasp, he backs away, but Decay's gone over the edge, and now BQB's ready to fight here. Fate and Gargoyle go down, but the Reaper is still there, and now at the sound barrier, he's got a lot of work to do, but Yaki gets rid of Paintbrush now, no immortality, and the Mayhem, that is the definition of brute force to win a fight.
And the kill from, I believe, nobody can test the point, Florida flips it right back.
How do they touch? Their composition isn't very mobile. They don't even have a Lucio to get there. They do get a touch, but BQB was waiting for him, and he's chosen their new Jance moves. Decay and Crimzo are down, and Fate drops back to the point, and that's comfortable for the...
All it takes is a few Storm Arrows, good combinations with the Halt as well, to really make a dent in these shields. And you see he's already up to about 50% towards ult, and that's all it takes for Hanzo, right?
Yeah, you said a few Storm Arrows. How about one random arrow? Nicely done to find Paintbrush, but a front line is what the Mayhem are lacking right now, with Fate and Chris both down, so a lot of their healing is missing, plus that shield. They'll probably have to take... okay. Gangnam Jin is still able to come forward as this Yaki, so even without a big front line, they're able to use line of sight breaking instead of shields to win the fight.
They're becoming a scary team where, like, even if you get the main tank dead, as long as, like...
the high ground, though. It forces the Fuel to relocate briefly, but then they can actually still get back up here.
Well, this was a nice high ground. You put down an Am Matrix that forces them to back up.
But they haven't forced Dallas to fight yet on the low ground. Now with Dallas being ahead in this fight, at least in player count, they probably feel more comfortable about committing now away from that perch position. And and now they can just sort of drop down on individuals and clean up the fight there. So you can see what Florida are doing to try and force Dallas to play on literally a level playing field. But Dallas get early kills and then drop down at their own volition.
I mean, it was good.
Gargoyle dropping down into an immortality field and a transcendence from the Mayhem to keep them topped up here. Both teams are still playing for poke damage right now, for the most part. But Decay is a pulse bomb, and he'll look to close the gap in just a moment. Somehow, Gangnam Jin finds a crucial kill across the map on Crimzo, and that is painful for Dallas. Yaki's pulse bomb's a good one. Note was too busy trying to deal with Gangnam Jin, and now Yaki gets a second. Doha is down, sees a Harmony Orb on Decay. Now it was Gamsu, but it wasn't enough to keep the Orisa alive, and the Mayhem eventually wear the fuel down.
So one is BQB being able to take Decay out on top. Is enough against maybe like a McCree, but not against the Hanzo with how fast he's able to burst people down.
Doha down early. BQB again finds the crucial area there. It was backed up with the Supercharger of Fate, so it was extra damage for Hanzo. That was quite speedy.
Yeah.
You really wouldn't have thought, seeing how much these two teams have been brawling, Matt, but to have almost a minute and 40 seconds left after one round of Blizzard
World.
World.
Dallas doesn't get a chance to...
or is it really a team-related thing? So many coaches like to talk about how the individual sort of culpability for performance isn't really a thing. Well, they prefer to try and sort of spread responsibility across the roster. Dallas have managed to make their way in here by getting both support, so you don't expect to see Florida stand up.
No, but I think it's a very strong argument, but I think when you see a player play how Decay has had and had how much of an impact on the game, it's clear his impact is great.
Gangnam Jin's down though. Now with Yaki as a pulse bomb, but again, where do you use it? Paintbrush is still at large and still has his drone available. Oh my! Gravitic Flux now. Okay, the target might be airborne, but Nope was still healthy enough to shrug off the bomb, but BQB has found 3 kills. He was waiting in the back line. He gets another, the headshot on Decay. Delivering more than you'd ask for from your Hanzo, but that's exactly what Florida needed.
Yeah, see, like, I think this is what you would want to see out of, like, and it comes at a time where Gamsu had just put down Orisa Shield, so forces the move out of the safety of that big Gravitic Flux here from Gargoyle. A few players go up, enough damage to pick up a few kills, but now the kill's going in favor of the Dallas Fuel.
Gargoyle's in such a nice spot to do damage. It's very risky playing there, but Kinetic Grass gets him out of trouble. They do lose Yaki there to Crimzo, who's found yet another one here. Crimzo finding multiple multi-kills over this series so far. The Dallas Fuel are able to recover a little bit there from that grass, but a petite 1v1. Chris slaps him down. Paintbrush, not in your first game, son. Work your way up to the top.
They're going to turn this.
What's messy? A BQB gets in the back and gets rid of Gamsu. It's over.
As this is also something that we were discussing a little bit with the first half, is that this is where you see the clock get burned out the most in terms of time bank, and these
no Gravitic Flux to help his team. That might be later on now. Amplification Matrix comes out from Paintbrush here. Matt for BQB has a potent off angle, and Crimzo crumbles.
He is so close to Transcendence, but even in that situation with people split between the high and the low ground, it would have been a really low quality Transcendence. So Crimzo, I don't want to say almost fortunate he didn't have it. I would have been interested to see if he would have decided to use it or not if he did, but nice halt. Kill from Yaki on the Doha, so just make Dallas Fuel wait even.
He has players statistically, arguably, from the main melee right now, and they are delivering. This is punishing for Dallas.
So that'll be a kill on from Gargoyle to Gamsu to kick things off. Dragon Strike from the Dallas Fuel. It doesn't save though Fate with the Transcendence there. As you see Gangnam Jin just take it on a ride. 23 seconds to go. All you have is a Transcendence. You have to use it to keep your tanks up.
And that he does. BQB goes down. Decay's able to find a kill on that enemy Hanzo. And Decay is looking. He needs to break the back here to get Dallas across the line, but that pulse bomb goes wide. Paintbrush loses his immortality field, and Gargoyle gets a nice little catch with a Gravitic Flux in the small room. Crimson's not going anywhere. May as well commit himself to playing arcade games instead, because he's not getting out of there. Note finds 2 though. BQB switches over to the Widowmaker, and the payload's close, but Gangnam Jin steps up, and now he'll chill. Just stand there. It's he and Doha. That'll be it.
To give the Florida Mayhem their second map as the Mayhem, I think it was a good story for the May Melee, but I think they realized that there's a lot of work to do for the rest of the season. I also think they realize that they're in a position where they
sit back on the point now, and they'll have that first tick Doha is a long way away from that first Blizzard, and Yaki may have it available if they need to fight for point A. Pressured down by Gamsu, though. Yaki opts not to try and keep himself alive. He just used the ice block earlier on, but BQB's in a great spot here to pepper arrows on the defenders as they try and get position, but they're too slow.
And Paintbrush ends up using it
for the Mayhem to come through. I like the Gravitic Flux on the left-hand side. Note there had Paintbrush close by, but Note's gone low. It has to be a Transcendence committed by Crimzo to keep him alive, and that may not be enough. BQB and Gangnam Jin, they strike gold, and BQB moves to the point. He was just inside the Blizzard, and the Transcendence was just a little too slow. Now it's just Gangnam Jin and Yaki on the point because Fate fell, and somehow the Fuel have clawed their way back into this. Ice block from Doha briefly to try and get the jump on Yaki, and a hold for Dallas by the skin of their teeth.
Losing Fate was big when the Dallas were able to get him out of the equation. Also getting rid of BQP as Gangnam Jin's coming in with that Transcendence, trying to save him. That was all 6 ultimates. Florida threw it. That one they didn't get it.
Off Mayhem players. Gamsu caught. Has to be an ice block there from Doha. Otherwise that Accretion would have gotten him, and Crimzo's down, and BQB, he's in there, in the back line, looking for a pick, but Gargoyle's able to deal with Note on the low ground. Good pressure, though. I love that push from Gamsu into BQB. They spotted him trying to flank around, and quickly again. Now Dallas doesn't really have the ability to sort of section off one of those individuals or just knock everyone around with displacement, but Fate is down again. Nice combo there. Amplification Matrix lets them burn the enemy Orisa down with the Zenyatta in tow. And that Immortality Field, should I say, isn't really going to do too much. Chris doesn't actually want to be there.
And with how good the Dallas Fuel have looked here on their point B defense, even taking a fight with the Florida Mayhem at all 6 ultimates. If Echo was like in the pool, right, you'd probably be playing Echo here. That'll be Gargoyle who eats Doha's Blizzard, so you don't get a use of that big ultimate for the Dallas Fuel.
Yeah, that's Blizzard difference for you, Matt, because the Mayhem got a very gainful Blizzard of their own. Yaki's already at 24%. He does go down to decay, but Gargoyle's on the low ground, taking care of business. Gamsu sent packing now. Bob has to be used here by Decay just to try and create a little bit of extra presence now when Paintbrush comes in on the Lucio. First time I've seen that from him. Decay trying to work from a flanking position has found 2 quick kills. Are there more available here? The Wrecking Ball is now in play, and Chris is low health underneath his own drone. Decay is looking for more kills here, but Gamsu steals that one, and the Fuel again stabilized. And again, it's that combo of Decay and Gamsu finding crucial pickoffs.
Yeah, as Doha comes in on the Doomfist, cleans up 1. This should be all for Florida. So Dallas Fuel comes out of the spawn, gets a few kills. They get the hole needed. It'll be the Florida Mayhem taking point A and then getting 92%.
Rush. And Decay is a little bit out of position. Very clever, though. He uses the coach gun just to send him in towards the rest of his team quickly. The BQB wants to isolate him, and it looks like Decay wants to actually allow him that 1v1. He gets rid of BQB. Dallas are trying to provoke the Mayhem to dive on them, and it's had mixed results in fairness, but they come out 2 for 2 in the first couple trades, and this is, I mean, I don't know what you're hoping
for. So they really want to take this fight.
All right, they invest deep on getting Decay embedded in the backline, and Paintbrush finds Gangnam Jin with the help of that amplification matrix. A very good window from Paintbrush and 2 kills to show for it. The Fuel are very much up in numbers and are looking to capture point A.
Yeah, they felt like they had an advantage when they got Decay behind enemy lines into high ground. They knew the damage dealers were dead on the other team that could challenge him. So what do? They have Florida Mayhem had as having 6 ultimates going into that first fight.
BQB, speculative Dragon Strike there towards the right-hand side, and Dallas finds 2 kills. It's a 3rd for Doha! And now the Florida Mayhem are crumbling. A Transcendence for Gangnam Jin, but there's really no one there to bask in. Chris just peeks out a spawn for a brief second, but there's already 1 tick for the Dallas Fuel and counting. Fate goes for Adaptive Shield, and Crimzo, his attention's elsewhere. A clutch Blizzard. Can they save the day here? What a wall, though, is going to keep Crimzo alive a little bit longer, and Doha and Paintbrush can get back into the fight. 4 minutes on the clock. Gangnam Jin blown up by the dynamite, and it'll be a Wrecking Ball, but only a brief stint.
They go Wrecking Ball Sigma on offense.
The ball's definitely to deny this high ground, right? To displace the Mayhem from their purchase. But you don't need to do that when your Mercy just gets 1 clip by Decay. Yikes!
Completely like a ton of position.
That loss of Gangnam Jin is huge, but he still gets a Biotic Grenade before he goes, and Fate was able to find a little bit with that with the Primal Rage, but he needed his healer to be alive. Chris brings Gangnam Jin back a little bit late to keep the Winston standing, but Gargoyle will definitely benefit from that extra healing, and BQB is in his element right now, surrounded by corridors, and that dynamite does work, but the card! BQB's able to get there with a quick coach gun, but my god, that was risky.
Yeah, and they had somebody moving the car.
That is one of the more grisly scenes you're going to see in this game. Oh, BQB catches the K as he comes past there. A perfect headshot, and Yaki is free to clean Crimzo up. Now the Dallas Fuel starting to feel a little under the weather. And Yaki, again...
been given high ground control for free run around.
Okay, BQB is down, but there is still a nano-boosted Winston with Primal Rage available. Paintbrush is missing, so that's the trade. Note is very low. Fate, can he get a Primal off? He does, but he's too low. Remember, he takes % health damage from Gravitic Flux when he's dropped to the ground. It doesn't matter how much of it he's got. Now Yaki moves on in. Precious Note down. He's low. Now switch to Crimzo. What a nasty player. Gets in there, finishes him off with a melee attack, and individual performance sometimes is enough. With 6 seconds left,
You'll make it back as well. This will be a bomb from BQB that goes on in. Pulse bomb as well. Some ultimates being used here from Florida as they're trying to end Dallas Fuel's push.
Paintbrush trying to style a little bit there, but he needs to be at the cart. That's where the action is, and the big bad bustling bobs come in to herald the end of the round. And the Florida Mayhem, their first couple of maps here, but they know that they have all the time to work with. Here's a nano-boosted Fate. The Winston goes on in. Gumsu is low. Paintbrush has lost his immortality field already. Fate is very close to building up a Primal Rage, and he can transition seamlessly into that ultimate now. And it's a nightmare for Doha. There is no escape. And Fate sends him barreling onto the wall. The K's going to drop in over the top now. The Yaki has definitely got control of the back line, and all that's needed now is for Florida to converge on the cart, to group up here, and to finish the round. Note's going to try and stall out on the Wrecking Ball as long as he can now, swinging around the cart, but the adaptive shielding's not enough, and Florida are a cut above the rest, at least the Fuel right now, and they will clinch the series here.
Dallas, they came alive a little bit in Anubis, but that was about it.
To stay up to date with all things Overwatch League, make sure to check out one of our other recap videos.